Well, to start off this morning, we have an interesting comment from Elon Musk. He says this, and going back to the sort of self-inflicted wounds, the Kevlar shoes, I've probably done, this is a Elon speak, right? I may have done more to financially impair the company, meaning in this case, Twitter X, than to help it. But certainly, I do not guide my posts by what I find financially beneficial, but what I believe is interesting or important or entertaining to the public. On multiple occasions, Musk expressed confusion over why Brody was pursuing litigation against him and basic details about the case. This is a case of where he was suggesting that this individual was part of some group that the fellow apparently wasn't. He just looked like somebody who was. Anyway, this is part of a lawsuit. So Elon is saying that he thinks that maybe some of his posting has hurt X or Twitter. Stands to reason that if he believes that, if he had been asked the exact same question about Tesla, I would suppose he would answer in the affirmative as well. So I thought that was interesting for a start for this morning's program. Then there's this. And this has been reported by many people, including Tesla Boomer Mama and some others. So this is job postings, which is one of her specializations. And it says here that they're looking for a prototype vehicle operator. This is Tesla, a prototype vehicle operator that will be involved in autopilot and robotics for Littleton, Colorado. Same position for Bellevue, Washington. Same position for Draper, Utah. Same position, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Multiple of these all over the country. That popped up actually about 6 days ago before the announcement about 8.8. So some are saying, I guess the 8.8 may not have been something that was just pulled out of the air and not talked about with others in management, but rather there's already been a plan in place to roll out Robotaxi in some way, shape, or form later this year. We still don't know a lot about what that means, and it would be high on my list of questions if I had a chance to talk to Elon Musk on air. This is from Bloomberg this morning, and it is Ben Kallo from Baird. Okay, Ben Kallo says, Tesla's 10 results. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Tesla's results will be messy due to several one-time. Oh, that's first quarter. They made a mistake. That is not an O, that's a Q. All right. Tesla's first quarter results will be messy due to several one-time items, and second quarter estimates are likely still high, according to Ben Kallo. There's no denying that the demand environment has deteriorated, he said. He sees risk for more price cuts in forms including the zero financing in China. Yeah, I'd like to see them try 2 or 3% financing in the US. I think that would be wise. Tesla faces difficult comparisons to the second quarter of 2023, and Baird estimates the company may report year-over-year decline again in second quarter, looking at 444,510 vehicles in Q2, which is below the estimates by the consensus of about 498,000. And a year ago, it was 466. Baird estimates for third quarter, 481,000 deliveries, and for the fourth quarter, 525. Also, all of those being below consensus, and you can add that up quickly in your head, and you know it does not get anywhere near 2 million. Kallo no longer regards Tesla as bearish, however. He cites Robotaxi unveiling in August, emphasis on full self-driving, and the energy business growth. So there you go. There is a bullish, bearish, sort of in-betweenish report from Baird this morning. So Tesla has been moving up and down this morning into the green, into the red. Okay, so it's up strongly now, up 188. That in spite of the fact that Gary Black reports that China's came in with only 1,900 insured registrations for the week of April 1 through 7, which is down 41% compared to last quarter and 73% compared to last year, same week. Excuse me. The first week of the year and first week of any quarter is typically heavily involved in exports. So a little hard to generate any concerns about this. And apparently the stock market is not concerned. Maybe pay more attention to Baird. I'm hoping that we will get some of the following answers in the earnings call in 2 weeks from tomorrow. I'm hoping we'll get some kind of an answer on why construction is going nowhere at Reno in Mexico. I mean, we can't grow if we don't build. I hope we're getting some answers on 4680 production. I'm hoping we're going to get some kind of color, some kind of depth of understanding of what's really going to happen on 8/8, because everybody is all over the place. I don't care whether it's the really smart Wall Street pundit types or whether it's the geniuses actually on X who are way smarter than those pundits. Anyway, you can get any opinion about what's going to happen on 8/8, from an unveiling of an actual vehicle to no unveiling of a vehicle to an unveiling of a full-on network that will be ready to go on 8/8 to no unveiling of a network and no date for the future of a network, but just the concept of how it's going to work. Anyway, take your pick, because right now we don't know what unveiling means. This is Randy Kirk, and I'd love for you to do 5 things for me. Very easy. Hit the like button, then hit the notify button. Then, before you do that, though, go back and hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much for helping me get over 21,000. And then after you got done with all of that, go down to Patreon below, hit the link there, go over and join Patreon. $3 a month, $5 a month, $10 a month. You know, if you go $10 a month, you can get both of my books. I'm going to do a deal right now. For the next 2 weeks, if you join Patreon at the $10 level, join, not the trial, but the join, or you can wait 7 days and then join. But either way, both books and a free Cybertruck. How's that? Instead of just one or the other, you get all 3 if you join at the $10 level during the next 2 weeks. All right, inflation has been oh, and then the last thing, oh yeah, just buy the Cybertruck at $25 or buy more. The last 3 orders have all been for big numbers. Okay. Trueflation is confusing the heck out of me. I'm going to be on the show next week on Tuesday, next week at 9:30 in the morning, actually on Spaces with Trueflation. I think maybe it's Zoom. I can't remember. I think I just got a Zoom request, so maybe it's on Zoom. Anyway, they're confusing me all the time. So here's today. Their daily tracker is showing 1.82% inflation year over year, but their monthly update just prior to the CPI release tomorrow says that inflation is going back up again. Let me read here a little bit. Inflation has not been cooling, even though their charts are showing it has come down from about 2.3 a few weeks ago to 1.8. Inflation has not been cooling, and in fact has seen a reversal of trends. In March, this upward movement is expected to continue and reinforce in March. This upward movement is expected to continue and reinforce the Trueflation position of continued sticky inflation. Now, we're in April. They're in April. This report came out today. It's dated today. He's still talking about trends in March. Sticky inflation has been consistently reported by the PCE and the BLS. However, most recently, the Purchasing Managers Index, now that was at the very end of March, has reinforced the outlook that is likely to continue to be driven by consumer demand. The PMI highlights that economic activity in the manufacturing sector expanded in March after contracting for 16 consecutive months. The March PMI number registered, we know, 50.3, up 3.5 percentage points, etc. The first instance of expansion since September 22 shows that demand is likely at the early stages of recovery, clear signs of improved conditions for the manufacturing industry. That's true. We saw multiple signs of improvement in manufacturing. Performance continues to defy projections for a downturn in activity, and with demand currently strong, we expect to see orders and production pick up in the second quarter. This will no doubt continue to fuel growth in the prices of goods, which includes food, now and in the future. Coupled with prices of services holding relatively stable in March, it is going to be tough to bring inflation down to the Fed's 2% target while showing our own position as being under 2% right now. Strong wage growth continues with employment opportunities being healthy and initial unemployment gains holding relatively stable. This strength in the employment market is likely to keep the cost of services stubborn for some time and will remain at the heart of the Fed's fight against inflation. Actually, the heart of their fight against inflation is in housing, in particular rentals, but also in owned homes. Anyway, I don't know. I can't figure it out. So, as you know, one of my most important reports every month is the small business small business report, which is called the National Federation of Independent Businesses. Fox News had the best reporting on them this morning. Small business optimism declined in March. We've heard this a little bit the last couple of days, that while middle-sized big businesses are doing okay, small businesses are kind of struggling right now. Declined to its lowest level in more than a decade, according to a new report from the National Federation of Independent Business. NFIB's Small Business Optimism Index, which is compiled mostly through a survey of small businesses, decreased in March by 0.9%, 0.9 of a point to 88.5. So from 89.4 to 88.5, which is the lowest reading since December 2012 and marks the 27th consecutive month where the index has been below the 50-year average of 98. So this is 10 points below the 50-year average. NFIB chief economist Bill Duckenberg says that small business owners' optimism decline continue to manage economic headwinds, and added inflation has once again emerged as the top business problem on Main Street, and the labor market has only eased slightly. 1/4 of small business owners said that inflation was the most important problem. So that's only 1/4, although that is up a bit. But that doesn't sound too crazy. 1/4 are saying that's their number one problem. Due to higher input and labor costs. That's up 2 percentage points from February and 1 percentage point from a year ago. So that actually is interesting that it's up from a year ago in terms of concern about inflation. Hang on to that number. That could be an important number going forward if we're concerned that inflation is returning. And of course, you know where my concern is oil, gasoline, etc. In line with concerns about inflation, the percentage of owners who reported that they raised average selling prices rose by 7 points from February to a net 28%. On a seasonally adjusted basis, the net percentage of small business owners who said they expect real sales to be higher decreased by 8 points from February to a net negative 18%. So the sales are going down, prices are going up. NFIB wrote that the findings said that the small business sector is showing signs of a potential slowdown. Yeah, if they're showing that much negativity on terms of sales going forward. The report also found that 37% of small business owners had job openings they could not fill in the current period. 37%, while the share reporting labor quality as their top operating problem rose by 2 points to 18%. It also found that 38% reported raising compensation. 38% were increasing compensation, an increase of 3 points from February, which had the lowest reading since May of 2021 in February, but now it's going up again. Additionally, a net 21% plan to raise compensation in the next 3 months, an increase of 2 points from February. So you take 38% have already raised prices in the last quarter, 21% going to raise. Can you add that up for me really quickly? 60% have either raised their compensation or plan to raise their compensation in the next 3 months. That's huge. The NFIB wrote that the Federal Reserve has taken notice of the lingering impact of inflation on the economy and has shifted the rhetoric about potential rate cuts and re-emphasized the need to tamp down inflation. Higher interest rates have made it harder for small businesses to obtain capital, with a net 8% reporting their last loan was harder to get than previous attempt. Well, that's not very high. That continues to show these small businesses don't need to borrow. A net 17% of small business owners reportedly paying a higher rate on their most recent loan, up 1% from February. Finally, the 2024 schedule of anticipated rate cuts. Oh, this is about the Fed. We already know this, that the Fed looking less and less like there's going to be any cuts. 2 to 3 cuts now considered to be the average expectation, but it's dropping rapidly. The BLS reported 303 jobs added. We knew that. One half of the Fed's mandate looks good. The other half looks frustrating to Main Street. In the meantime, small businesses will have to manage higher financing costs a bit longer, along with raising their prices, raising their compensation, and feeling like sales are actually going to be slipping. This is not a great report from the NFIB. Okay, let's take a look real quick at where the market is now. Tesla is now up $3. $3. Holy mackerel. Maybe there's some news that we did. Let's see if there's anything in the Tesla. No, I don't see any news. So it's just up $3. It's going up like this, like a rocket right now. So go figure. It was not doing that in the pre-market, and all of a sudden it is going up, and it is also way ahead of the rest of the market. We've got the Dow down 59. We have got the NASDAQ up 56. We got the S&P up $3.88. We have got change that. We have NVIDIA is down, but the rest of the Magnificent Seven are up, but just marginally, just $1 here and 50 cents there, etc. So showing a little shakiness in the Mag 7, looking like they might go red while Tesla goes up. So maybe the street is really getting it with regard to FSD, and maybe they're anticipating way more than I am on 8.8. I'm shaky about 8.8. I don't know about you. Let me know in the comments below. Do you think this is going to be a phenomenal, like, here's the car and here's what it does, and we're rolling out FSD immediately with our existing fleet? I mean, those are the things that I would love to hear, that they're rolling out FSD, Robotaxi, the whole thing. Here's the app, and it's rolling out immediately on the fleet as it stands. That's what I'd love to see. All right. Anyway, the Cathie Wood stocks are mixed, but mostly up this morning, because I think we'll find in a minute that there's been a softening a little bit in the interest rates on the treasuries. Okay. And then you've got, by percentages, it is Dow down 0.16%, NASDAQ up 0.33%, S&P up 0.07%. Boy, that's all over the map. And Tesla up 1.69, easily outstripping the rest of the market in every way, shape, and form, surprisingly. All right, let's see here. Let's go in and take a look at what is happening with those bonds, because they were down earlier. And let's see if we've still got that situation happening. Yes, so the bonds have relaxed just about as much as they were up yesterday. They're down today. So you've got the 10-year down 4.5 basis points at 4.378. That's a nice direction. Thank you very much. You got the 2-year down 4 basis points, so kind of similar. So holding on to the inversion from yesterday, and then the 2-month is actually up. But even though it's up, there's still only 100 basis points in that inversion, which is lower than it has been recently. Okay, let's go take a look at oil. Oil is down 6 cents this morning, so no real change there. Continues to be 86.37 with Brent still over $90. Natural gas up another 3.69 this morning. Again, that report must have had some impact. Now, that can't be true. Telling people that the oil industry is unhappy about the price of natural gas is not going to move the price of natural gas. So for whatever reason, some kind of demand issue, I don't know why. 2 days in a row, huge increases in natural gas. Should have bought natural gas 2 days ago. Now sitting at $1.90. Okay, we have got gold up again, another $21 at $2,372. Remember, we were well under 2,000 just a few weeks ago, actually. Copper is up another 1% this morning, has passed, is now at $4.32. That's a continuation. Silver up 1.67%. The commodities, I don't know about the rest of the commodities, but we're starting to see this commodity move, which is good news for the economy, bad news, obviously, for inflation. The dollar is breaking even this morning. No exciting move one way or the other on the dollar. And then you've got the Bitcoin dropping $1,700 to 70,000. and change. Okay, so let's go back one last time and see if Tesla is continuing to move dramatically up. It is continuing to move up like crazy. Must be some news. $4.24 now. Okay. All right. So yesterday, of course, it was Brian White and I doing a video, and it was a ton of fun. We went over the questions we would ask if we had gotten a chance to get Elon Musk on camera, because all of these recent interviews have just been the same old, same old, same old. We want some really deep dirt. We want some of the color. We want some anyway. That you'll love that video, and of course, it's hilarious as heck because Brian is a comedian. Actually, has a history of writing comedy. Anyway, hit that. That's where you'll see the card to go back and check that out. Actually, last night's video was pretty important too, because Larry and I finally did the Kathy Wood thing. So you know what? I'll put that card up also, although they may not be in the right order because I can't figure out how to do that. Anyway, and then let's see. Later today, we got Brian White again. Very good video coming up. Don't miss it. So hit notify and all that jazz. And then, yeah, tonight we've got Nicholas Gibbs. As far as I know, he'll be on helping us bring in Tuesday's good news, which at this moment looks like it is going to be quite good as the stock continues just at almost perpendicular. It's crazy. $4.31. All right, that's all I got, and it's been great talking to you.